Welcome to Creating a Safer Workplace by MSC Direct, featuring the web series Nothing Stops U.S. Manufacturing. Conversations with safety professionals in the field. Here's your host, Anthony Testa.
Hi, I'm Anthony Testa, and welcome to another episode of MSC's Nothing Stops U.S. Manufacturing. I'm joined today by Monica Frent and Diane Dyson from 3M. So welcome, ladies, to the episode. I appreciate you joining me today.
Thanks for having us.
So I want to just start with, when you think of floor and safety tape and the heightened awareness around social distancing, what has 3M, done for social distancing in terms of tape and product in a very short period of time?
So our customers have been working across our portfolio to meet their facility needs now more than ever. So as far as the solutions that we've brought together to meet the COVID-19 requirements, we're looking at all those core components as far as signage, communications, and cleaning. And that's where 3M has brought the complete solutions for back to business. And it's just really been magical because us as 3Mers have all learned what we have. We have so many products and we're able to bring those solutions to help customers during a really difficult time.
So you walk into a factory floor, the perception from an employee, right, is I'm walking in and I have all this beautiful floor marking tape that's telling me what to do, or it's bright colored, versus someone walking in, employee walking in, and it's, again, I'm no offense here, I know 3M makes masking tape, but it's just masking tape that's down on the floor, or handwritten signs, things of that nature. Do you think there's an impact on employee morale by having that, when that employer steps up and actually does that professional type of install?
I would, by the way, our basic tapes are up in sales too because of.
No, and that's why I keep on saying I'm not offending.
They are. I'm not. Hey, that's my brother from another division. We love each other, but we're seeing those green tapes and the blue tapes do floor marking as well. So we love all tapes. But yes, it does. To answer your question, I think those impressions, it is nice and professional, and we're seeing our number always has been yellow, but more than ever, that yellow marking for aisleways, walkways, traffic lanes, it is a guide. It is a visual guide for where should I be. And we're seeing a lot of publications too of examples where they're using that yellow to create squares or holding areas. Every facility is using different colors for different areas and customizing it to what works with that plant. There are some recommendations that are used in the industry. Typically in an industrial plant, red is part of like this 5S system that we talk about, which means sort, straighten, shine, standardize, and sustain. And it's just a nice guide that companies use with these colors and recommendations. And red in a traditional methodology means safety, first aid. Could be a defect area, scrap area, or just a tag area. So when you think about that correlates even to the retail industry. That's how they're using it a little bit different in some of the different industries.
Diane, so when we talk about slip resistant tape, what makes that slip resistant? Like, how does that work?
Technically, traction is measured as coefficient of friction. So a higher coefficient of friction is going to mean more friction, thus more traction. So with the Safety Walks slip resistant tapes and treads, they help a facility meet the OSHA recommendations and also the Americans with Disabilities Act recommendations for the coefficient of friction. So by meeting those coefficient of friction standards, then you can be assured that you'll have that slip resistance where you need it. The higher the number, the more coarse or heavy duty the product. So if you're in the 200 series, it's very fine. And then we move to a medium resilient in the 300 series. That's going to be a non-mineral topped surface. So think about barefoot applications. Maybe it's in a locker room, maybe it's around a pool where you do need that slip resistance. Then we have the general purpose, that is a mineral top surface. That's probably the most frequently used. And then the most aggressive that we have in our line is the coarse product. And this is a larger abrasive grain. So you would think about putting this in an area where maybe it was muddy, greasy, oily, just need a little bit of extra, more extreme traffic area. Maybe it's boot traffic versus just regular shoe traffic.
Are there areas of concern where an end user would over engineer a spot? Meaning if they put the high grit on an area where it shouldn't really be?
I think just by nature, people tend to think that the general purpose feels like it's not going to be enough. So I want to go up to that extreme,
right,
bigger looking grit, and that's going to be better. But a lot of times it's actually too much. The general purpose really is going to satisfy about 85% of the requests for just general applications, especially indoor, say on a factory floor. So yes, we have seen that. There is such a thing as too much traction, and that can actually make you trip.
Right.
So, it's not just the tape on the floor, but it's also the footwear that you have that contributes to the overall level of traction that you're getting. So too much can be not a good thing.
From a social distancing standpoint, what 3M is bringing to market, how is the anti-slip floor tape and safety walk? What are folks using that for?
I mean, we've really partnered together with the tape division and brought the floor safety portfolios together. And for social distancing, one other aspect that we found a little bit surprised by and didn't really think about is the aspect of not just a visual cue, but also the feel. So people can feel that there's something on the floor because it's a little bit rougher. And so not only is there a visual cue with colors and stripes, but sometimes people, when they're not paying attention, sometimes they're walking, they notice that there is something different down, and then that's another cue for them to make sure they're social distancing.
So I got to come back to disinfectants because it's
okay,
right? It's
very hot topic.
Yes, it's a hot topic. So there is so much of a crackdown, and I know 3M does their homework about claims such as, it kills virus, it kills COVID. What has 3M developed from a disinfectant that you just mentioned, kills COVID? I mean, you're huge. Can you talk a little bit about that? What that product is? How what's its availability?
Yeah, we actually have several products that are EPA approved. They're on the emerging pathogen policy list N. Because of the pathogen being so new, of course, you're not going to find any disinfectants with labels that have a claim on their bottles right now. So that's why the EPA came out with this emerging pathogen policy. So if you were to get the 3M TB Quat ready to use disinfectant, that you can use that straight out of the bottle, spray on and wipe. That would be for the COVID-19, it's a 10-minute kill time. We also have more of a rapid contact time disinfectant that's a 3-minute kill time. That's a concentrate that the user would mix into a quart bottle to spray.
Awesome. Just define for folks who may not know when you say kill time, is that when you put the product on, it has to sit for that long period of time, or you can spray it on, wipe it, and then you just leave that alone for 10 minutes?
Yeah, you actually dwell time or kill time. That actually means that the surface needs to be wet and dwelling on that surface for that amount of time to kill the specific pathogen or hazard that you're addressing. So it is really up to the end user as to what their needs are, their time frames, what their application is. where they are, what type of user they are, if they're a hospital versus maybe they're an infrastructure cleaning workstation. So there's a wide variety of needs out there, and there are other similar pathogens to COVID-19. So you would make a comparison, and the EPA then grants you that, that you're on the list and that you're approved for those certain pathogens.
How would one go about finding out more information about the product, about the disinfectants, and about the floor marking tapes?
For the disinfectants, we have a website that you can go to, and it's 3m.com/back to business. It should be really a one-stop shop for all of your disinfection questions.
Well, ladies, I know you're very busy, but thank you very much for joining me today. I totally appreciate it.
Follow us at mscdirect.com for future episodes and more information on operating in our new normal.